I'm gonna skip the unboxing on this because it's been way overdone and I wanna get right into the meat potatoes. You're here because you wanna see if this machine is something that you wanna use to replace your old garbage that you probably got off Amazon, or if it's a good first choice for your first machine. Let's cut through it and we're gonna find out. With every video involving a tattoo machine, I've got about 6 key points. Number 1, brushless motor. Number 2, direct drive. Number 3, does it have a replaceable cam or an adjustable cam? Number 4, is it wireless? And if so, number 5, what's that battery strength like? You know, am I gonna be switching batteries mid-tattoo, etc.? And number 6, is it easily cleanable? Is this a machine I can take apart? Or has the manufacturer prevented me from being able to thoroughly clean my device the way that I want to because
they're protecting their proprietary information?
the one I'm reviewing today is a 4.2 stroke. It comes in one other, but I got the 4.2. It's my preferred anyway. I run about 4.5 with my ACUS, so this will be in my own wheelhouse, so to speak. The full kit that includes, of course, the tattoo machine. You get 2 prime critical batteries, 2000 milliamp if I'm not mistaken. RCA converter, of course, in case your 2 batteries fail. You get 1 disposable grip, and you get a set of test cartridges, I guess. There's a 5 round liner, 7 round liner, 9 mag, and 9 curve mag. Gotta love that curve, you know? And of course, the tool to take it apart. Classic. I priced the single kit just because you never know. Like, I'm a sucker for a good deal, so I gotta know, right? The single, you get 1 machine, 1 2000 milliamp battery, a 2-foot charging cable, all right? And the prime tool to take it apart. At least they didn't make you pay for that. You know what I'm saying? So when I tallied it all up, if you were to buy all the extras that don't come in the single kit, you're spending somewhere like $306, something like that. So literally, it pays to get the bigger kit if you're gonna get it. Don't fuck around and get the skinny kit. Don't. Just get the big kit. You're already at $180 if you want to buy 1 more battery, and that comes with the RCA adapter. And then the charging dock on its own is like $90. The tattoo needles are something like $16 on their own. Yeah, I mean,
I took a picture.
the RCA adapter is about $180. The needles that I mentioned earlier are about $16. And the critical docking station's like $90. So all in all, that's about $306 on top of the $400 you already paid. Why would you do that? Just pay the $200 and get all the goodies. You know what I mean? Don't be cheap. Don't be stupid when it comes to this one. Am I recommending this machine? I don't know yet, but that's a killer deal. So Prime, as you probably know, or maybe you don't know, is a needle brand. They collaborated with Bishop, who makes the motor, the Japanese motor that's inside there. The motor's a 9-volt, 8,200 revolutions per minute, RPM. And they both have the jump start, which is kind of nice in case your needles are getting stuck. Turn that on. We'll look at that later in the video when I do the overhead and see what's going on. Before I wrap this up for the tattoo that I'm gonna do with it later today, just thought I'd get a quick and easy close-up. So of course, we have the critical charging station and sweet disposable grip. Kind of a hard rubber, actually. Could be pretty comfortable. So the battery, easy. Magnetic, pops off, and looks like just seats right in there. I wouldn't push it down any further. It looks like there's a little bit of play, and I don't want to break it. Look, it's magnetic too. Sweet new look. So we'll slap this back on, unscrew the grip. Now if you do notice the 4 dots, that's because it is the 4.2. The 3.5 has the 3 dots. Kind of nice, I guess, if you had 2 of the machines, but get a little close up of that. All right, and the tool they do include in here, this little guy, the prime tool, as well as spare O-rings, cool, and always my favorite, lube. I use my own lube though. My bad, grease. GPL 205 grease. Safety data sheet available upon request. I shall request. So insert like so. Give a gentle little twist. Ooh. So here's your drive shaft. So really that's the only part that ever touches the needle. Looks like it might be kind of interesting to clean in there if you had a blowout. I mean, if one of your needles failed, but it's kind of interesting. Little spring-loaded setup. If it comes out. Oh yeah, she come out easy. Ooh, guess you want to be very careful with that. This looks like the key area to lubricate right around that spring. Looks like it came pretty lubed up, I guess. All right, so then dropping this bad boy back in here looks like easy, but let's see. May not be. Not too bad. Okay. And then we have our swashbuckle, swash plate. And that's what that's how it rotates. Yeah, so your needle sits in one spot and it's pulling it, kind of pulling it, pushing it, pulling it back away. Well, the spring-loaded part of the needle. Anyway. I don't think I'd want to mess with that, but this feels and looks like quality. This doesn't look like some cheap shit. Can't really see inside there, but it looks like there is there's an access port actually, and there's a small little hex screw. So if you had to remove it, looks like this part's probably easy to replace if you had to. So that's good news, because if that breaks, like on some other machines by a different company, then that's cool. So that's a positive. So let's see if we can put this back together. Doesn't seem like there's any special way to line that up. It just kind of goes. So give her a little, nothing too crazy. And then 3 seconds. She primed, boy, she primed. So 3 seconds, power on. Okay. So if you notice that quick little vibration, it did have to like self-seat in that swash plate, but didn't seem to be a big deal. Yep. Cool. 6.6. Any of the machines that I can possibly do this with, I will. And it's to just keep the grip off and slip this over. And we're just gonna stretch it over this hole. And then you can easily just twist that over and just wrap this between the buttons. The buttons are fairly sensitive, so if you wrap this too tight, it will, just like that, turn it off. So I want to go in between. All right, she's ready to go. Today we're going to be using the 14 round liner by TNT Tattoo, not sponsored. All right, so now that I had a little time to use the Prime-X critical machine, I wanted to give you some final thoughts on it, on what I actually think. I'll have a little video either right up here or over here or covering my whole face. Either way, just some little snip snaps, some snip shots, or whatever. So final thoughts. In the beginning, I said it had to cover about 6 different things for me to really consider it a machine that I would like to use or want to use. Number 1 was a brushless motor. It does have that. It has the Bishop's Japanese brushless motor in there. Seemed to run pretty smooth. Sounded nice. No issues there. Number 2 was a direct drive. After taking it apart, it doesn't look like a direct drive machine to me. It has that swashbuckle I like to call it in there, with that little drive mechanism inside the transmission area, I guess. It seemed like it ran super smooth, but I do like that continual contact, you know, from whatever the motor is exerting onto the shaft and the drive bar. I'll give it one that it comes in the 3.5 or the 4.2. Realistically, in my findings, if you have a machine where you can adjust to all these different cam lengths, it can confuse how you use it, whereas my personal machine, I have that set at 4.5, and then I adjust the other few parameters of the machine and work around that, and it's just like freaking magic, right? Wireless and good battery, definitely wireless, has that critical battery on the back of it. That actually does switch out to the critical in some of the other machines as well. So I think the next machine I might review will be the critical and swap that on there and kind of test that out against some of those like third-party batteries. Is it easily cleanable? If you watched the whole video, obviously it is. I was able to take the whole thing apart with the included tool from Prime, so that's super nice. Went back together real well. Do want to be careful messing with the little spring and that little drive mechanism. It does fall out pretty easy if you tip it over, but for me, I didn't have a problem putting it back in there. So all in all, it almost crosses all the lines, or it almost checks all the boxes. For 600 bucks, you get the 2 batteries, the charging dock, the machine. I would say it's not a bad deal, really. I mean, I've played around with worse, you know, $100 and $200 Amazon machines that, you know, they're okay, but you can kind of tell. This one, it's super light, which is good for hand fatigue, but I'd say it's not a bad start. If you're wanting to kind of go all in, use something and get to know it, not too shabby, and then replace their Garbo $100 Amazon machine or get as a first machine. I have to say yes on both of those. I've used the trash machines before, and although they do work and get you by, there's a huge difference when you do buy a quality machine. I don't care what somebody tells you. I mean, maybe I should say, there are some like masters out there that can use anything apparently. I strive to be like them one day, but right now where I'm at, my personal machine, stepping into that one, I didn't know I could tattoo that way. So this would be definitely a good machine to get into, replace your old trash, or as your first one, definitely. Now, if you have any final thoughts or experience with this machine, or can think of something that I missed, please leave it down below. As always, like, subscribe, do all the things. Check out all the channels. Check out my boys Adam Darklord and Captain Ron's Inc. as well. And I'll see you next time.